You know what Cosby was making? He was making like $50 million a year. Wow. On Cosby Show.
Wow.
I mean, fucking, it's funny. I never saw Bill Cosby himself. Did you ever see that?
I've seen parts of it.
I never saw it. And I realized I should have watched it before I watched his documentary.
Yeah.
Because now I really can't watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fucking monster.
Yeah, it's tough for me because that show, growing up with immigrant parents, was the one show we could all watch and laugh at and understand everything. And it was like not weird or inappropriate because Indians don't talk about sex ever. So like there was none of that. It was like all a family show. And that was a thing that I share with my family. There was no other show we could all watch and laugh at. Cosby Show. So like, I'm not Faison Love. I'm not going to openly be like free Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
But I also have a complicated relationship with like, that show meant something to me, man. I don't want you to take that from me.
It's funny. I didn't realize how much that show meant to me until watching this doc. And they do a chunk talking about just how that imprinted on us that he was America's dad.
Yeah.
And I hadn't thought this thought in a million years, at least maybe 35. I wanted Bill Cosby to be my dad. He was cool.
Yeah.
I wanted my dad to be cooler.
Yeah.
Like my dad was just a dad. Like he didn't rape anybody, but he wasn't that funny. Like
he wasn't charming.
He wasn't charming.
He didn't give great gifts. Yeah. The whole funny story.
We never lined us up to dance on the stairs and like.
Dude, my proposal is the way I proposed to my wife is rooted in the Cosby Show.
Really?
And it was my friend's idea. Shouts to Luther Jackson, my roommate from college. Big romantic, like kind of like me, but like I was like, I want to propose to my wife. Empire State Building is where we first became a couple. It'll be right before her birthday. We can do that. And he was like, yo, he was like, this is weird, but you got to do it like the Cosby Show. And there was an episode where all the men are saying who can get their wife the best gift. Yeah. And they all tell these stories, and like the wife is so impressed they remembered. Bill does one where he tells a story but gets every detail wrong. And he's like, there was this wooden bangle that you saw at this store, and she was like, that's not the store, that wasn't the gift, and that wasn't the and it wasn't even the gift. It wasn't a wooden bangle, it was a green emerald something, and she pulls it out, and that's the thing. So like he was like, do not propose to her at the Empire State Building. Just lead her on the entire time you're there, and then after you leave, when you get to the bottom, propose to her. So I took her to the Empire State Building. She's positive she's texting her friend she's getting engaged.
That's pretty powerful.
And I reached into my pocket and pulled out gum. I would have long speeches that led to nothing. She's fucking livid as we're leaving. She's legit like she's thinking like, how am I going to explain this to my friends? She's heartbroken. She's mad. And then when we get to the bottom, all of her friends and family are sitting there. And then I proposed to her. And it was like, dude, I would not have had this proposal if it's not for the Cosby Show. Yeah. I would never thought of it.
Yeah.
So you're asking me to badmouth this dude. And it's like, fuck, dude, that's tough for me.
Well, if you watch the documentary, it'll be a lot easier because there's a lot of aggressive rapes.
That's a big as if I watched the documentary. You know what I mean?
It's 60 fucking women. I mean, it's like it's at a certain point you're like the very first one. Kamau did a great job showing it because the very first one you're like without a doubt you believe her 100%, like without a doubt. And then as they go, you're like, but I wanted my dad. I definitely wanted my dad to be like Bill Cosby. And I had a buddy whose dad was like Bill Cosby. And I remember going like, oh, like,
yeah,
like Bill Cosby just seemed cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I missed the out of touch. I started having kids and getting out of media a little bit right when he started doing the pull your pants up shit.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that, do you think that had an effect on Hannibal, that whole thing? Do you think that fucked with his head?
Yeah, I think that was like part of the reason he said, like, that was part of his beginning rant. He was like, this guy will tell people to pull their pants up, and it's like, bro.
No. I meant the cornerstone of that.
Oh yeah, I think it did. I don't think he wanted it to be that. I don't think he intended for any of this to happen because those cases have been out there. I had heard it, and I forgot about it. I had heard about it once or twice before that, and I think the first time I for sure forgot about it. I'm thinking back, the second time I might have pushed it out of my memory too. But like then when Hannibal brought it up and there's a video and you're watching it and everybody's talking about it, you can't forget about it. But I don't think he wanted it to be that. I think he just said it at a show in Philly and somebody taped him without him knowing and put it up there. And he's like, bro, I don't want to be this fucking guy. I don't know if it's pure coincidence that he moved to Chicago a couple years after and now he just kind of tours and does his own thing.
I don't know.
He was a guy, dude. And he's still so funny, but he was a guy. He was coming. Hannibal was fucking coming.
He was in every movie. I wonder. I've wondered a lot about that. I'm friends with Hannibal enough to call him and ask him, but
Yeah.
I've always, I part of me was like, I don't like, I don't want to know that the industry is that disgusting that Bill Cosby might have made a few phone calls and been like, hey man, I know this guy's got a fucking movie career launching.
Yeah.
I need a favor.
I don't know if it was that. Part of me is like, dude, he didn't want to be, because black people look at this guy like, how fucking dare you, dude? Why would you take down? We got enough people. I think I hear that a lot.
If
We
you
got
got
enough
face
people
on
trying
love
to take us
tweeting
down.
free Bill Cosby,
Bruh. That's what I'm saying. So I think he was like, dude, I don't want to. He might just move to Chicago because he's like, I don't care about it.
Well, I think he started buying properties in Chicago. Hannibal's also a businessman. Like,
love that.
I
love that.
I wish I had an ounce of that. Hannibal's the first person to talk to me about tour buses.
Yeah.
Like we were in Madison and I was doing the club. He was doing the theater.
Yeah.
And he's like, come by after, we'll have a drink. And I was like, okay. And I went back. He is done drinking. He doesn't drink anymore.
Yeah.
But he ate an edible and we just sat there and talked and he broke down the financials of a fucking tour bus. And I was like,
whoa, I want to hear that. I want to tour. I hate flying. I hate flying the most.